Okay, hi, good morning. Attorney Nate Amendola, criminal defense lawyer in Massachusetts. This is the Criminal Defense in Plain English series. The question today is it illegal to lie to the police? So, yes and no. Okay, so let's break this down. Number one, I want to reiterate, and I've said this a lot. In Massachusetts, except if you're driving a car, you don't have an obligation to talk to the police. And really, you shouldn't, at least without your lawyer there or consulting with a lawyer. And even then, I would say 9.9 times out of 10, your lawyer will likely advise you not to talk to the police. So if you're driving a car and you get pulled over, you do have to identify yourself, okay? You do have to give the police your driver's license, okay? But other than that, you really don't have to ask any questions, okay? Answer any questions. All right, where are you coming from? Where are you going to? You don't really, even if you're a driver, you don't have to do that. You certainly do not have to answer any questions posed to you by the police in any circumstances. So if the police come to your house, hi, I'd like to talk to you. Did you do this? Or where were you here? You don't have to say anything. There's no rule, no law that says that you have a requirement to talk to the police. In fact, there's something that's just the opposite. It's called the Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination. You have a right not to incriminate yourself, which means you have a right to remain silent. Use it. Use your right to remain silent. Okay? So, is it illegal to lie to the police? In the first instance, you shouldn't be talking to them. And I'm not a police aider. I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to do their job, but and protect the public and investigate crime. Don't help them. Don't help them investigate a crime by answering questions. This goes for parents too. If the police show up at your door, say, "Hey, look, little Johnny was out joyriding. Do you know where he was last night? Or does he have his driver's license? Or is he on any prescription medication?" The answer is, I'm not going to answer that. Okay, so you just don't have an obligation to talk to the police, and you shouldn't. So if you don't talk to the police, there's not going to be any issue of lying to them because you're just not going to say anything to them. There is a crime in Massachusetts that essentially called misleading a police officer. The law is essentially this: if you talk to the police and you mislead them in a material way, and the law is sort of like if you send them on a wild goose chase, okay? Um, that that is a crime, okay? It's a felony actually, and that's a problem. All right, so it's called this misleading a police officer. So if you talk to the police and you mislead them in sort of a material way that causes them to go on a wild goose chase, that's a crime. Okay, so that's how this works. But really, there's just no reason to talk to them in the first place. There's no reason to talk to law enforcement in the first place. So the question is it illegal to lie to the police? Really shouldn't even be in your mind because you shouldn't be talking to them in the first place. But if you do and you mislead them in a material way, you've got a potential problem. Attorney Nate Amendola, criminal law in plain English.